Warning, this is my opinion, this is not my game, and this is not my footage. All people who are in my footage have a link in the description. Five Nights at Freddy's 3. The supposed finale of Five Nights at Freddy's for like a month. And if I'm being totally honest, I think this game doesn't get the love it deserves. Firstly, the gameplay. This game changes things up a bit by having only one real animatronic. Well, not the only animatronic in the game, but I'll talk about that later. The only real animatronic in the game is called Springtrap. The only way to get him away from your office is play audio in a certain room where you want him to go to. And he has a pretty big chance of going to that room. But there's also vents in this game which Springtrap might go in. If you see him in a vent, you have to seal it so he doesn't get into another room. If you don't seal him fast enough, he'll get to that other room. Though that's still not all of it, since we have a panel to our left which has the audio systems, camera systems, and ventilation. Occasionally your play audio won't work because your audio system is a bonkadoodle, and you have to fix it using the panel. The same can happen with the camera system. The ventilation is a bit different, however. Most of the time the ventilation will go off randomly and make your vision go darker, and make Springtrap get closer faster. But sometimes when Springtrap gets into a vent, he'll make the ventilation go weird. But also your ventilation can go weird by phantoms jump scaring you, which I'll talk about later. So I would say gameplay would be about 8 out of 10. It's not too bad to be honest, but it can get pretty boring easily. Secondly, the phantoms. Springtrap, like I said, isn't actually the only animatronic in this game. There's also phantoms of the old destroyed animatronics. There's Phantom Freddy, Phantom Chica, Phantom Foxy, Phantom Balloon Boy, Phantom Mangle, and Phantom Puppet. Phantom Freddy will occasionally walk in your window in front of you, and if you look at him for too long, he'll go down and later he'll jump scare you. Phantom Balloon Boy, Phantom Mangle, Phantom Puppet, and Phantom Chica will appear in a certain camera, and if you look at the camera for too long, you get jump scared. But Phantom Mangle and Phantom Puppet's jump scares are different. Phantom Mangle's jump scare is her peeking from under the window in front of you and making a loud noise, causing you to have an audio error. Phantom Puppet's jump scare is just her looking at you, like really close to you and making a loud noise. So the Phantoms would be about 10 out of 10. They can get pretty annoying, but they can also be really creepy as well. Thirdly, the fear factor. This game isn't as scary as FNAF 1, but I do think it is scarier than FNAF 2. With the darker and grittier look on everything, it gives off an unnerving vibe, which is better than FNAF 2 could do. Let's make a list of things that freak me out, and why don't we? Number 5. The vent sound when Springtrap goes into a vent. Number 4. When Springtrap appears at your front window or your door area. Number 3. Phantom Freddy walking across your front window. 2. First encountering Phantom Puppet. And number 1, the Minigames, which I'll talk about later. I think the horror would be about 9 out of 10. Again, it's not as good as FNAF 1, but with the horrifying moments, with Foxy running down the hallway, and Golden Freddy and many others in that game. But it's not as bad as FNAF 2's horror, considering the only thing that really scared me in that game was either a really low chance of happening or wears off over time. Fourthly, the good and bad ending. This game actually has 2 endings, called the good and the bad ending. If you play the game normally, not finding any secrets, not freeing anyone's soul, you get the bad ending. But you have to go through a series of mini-games to get the good ending. Here's how to get the good ending. Firstly, you have to double-click the Balloon Boy poster on Cam 8, where you find yourself in a mini-game playing as Balloon Boy. In the mini-game, you have to jump to the 3rd platform on the left wall of the room, then you have to keep jumping until you clip through the wall, then go right and jump in to grab a special balloon. Getting that balloon will make new platforms later for you to get the good ending. All of this needs to be done on either night 1 or 2. Secondly, you have to go to Cam 7 and click the buttons on the arcade from upper left to upper right, then lower right. Then the minigame will start. You play as Mangle, and a kid is trying to get you and tear you apart. You have to go to the exit, but don't go there. You have to jump on the platform above the exit and clip through the wall. After going down, go left. If you got the special balloon, a platform should appear under you. Continue on the platforms, and with special cake, give them to crying kids. You have to do this on night 2. Then on either night 2 or 3, you have to go back and double click the BB poster again. Now that you have the special balloon and the cake, use the new platforms to travel to the crying child. And you give cake to them. Then you have to click the cupcake visible on Cam 2, Cam 3, Cam 4, and Cam 6. Where now you play as Chica. To find the second crying child, don't bother getting more than one cupcake. Fall down the hole in the second room, then go to the left wall until you clip out and find a crying child, and you need to give him cake. The next minigame is really hard to enter. In your office, there's a grid of squares, and you have to click 395248 as if it was a cell phone. Then you're sent to a minigame where you play as Golden Freddy on stage. You have to clip through the wall to the left, right when the game begins, then go down, down, right, right, left, up, and right. Then finally you'll clip through the wall and find the third crying child. You have to do this on night 4. The next minigame is also really hard to get to. You have to click the really hard to see Shadow Bonnie figure on your desk. In the minigame, you play as Shadow Bonnie in the Golden Freddy stage, where you can press S to teleport to the other minigames. You'll have to go to the Balloon Boy stage and clip on the left wall. Then you teleport and you'll find a crying child and you give him cake. The final minigame is called Happiest Day. You can enter in by clicking the puppet's face on the Cam 3 feed. After saving the 4 children's souls, you'll have to walk forward and give the final child cake. Then finally everyone's soul is free, and then beat night 5 and you get the good ending. I would say the endings would be about 9 out of 10. It's really interesting that this game has multiple endings. My only real problem with it is how convoluted getting the good ending is, but still not too bad. Fifthly, story. This game is really big story-wise, but overall the main story is that purple guy who supposedly killed all the kids and made them possess the animatronics, returned to the FNAF 1 location in 1993 and dismantled the animatronics. But what he didn't know is that their souls went out of the animatronics and they were able to scare the purple guy that was hiding in the safe room, which had been abandoned for years earlier. But the Spring Bonnie costume was also in the safe room. Anyway, the kids now as spirits go into the safe room and scare the purple guy into going the Spring Bonnie costume. But the thing is, Spring Bonnie and Golden Freddy are made of spring locks, which make it able so an animatronic or a suit can be worn. But if any water goes onto the spring locks, they will fail and snap into you. And in the safe room, it was wet and rainy. So when the purple guy, scared by the kids, went into the Spring Bonnie suit, yeah, the purple guy kinda died and ended up possessing the suit. Then he was sealed in the safe room for 30 years until the place was reopened to be now known as Fazbear's Fright. Then the seals were opened and Springtrap was set free. Then he haunts you for 6 nights until the end of the 6th night when the place burns down. But it turns out Springtrap actually survives. Then the game ends. I think this game is really underrated just because of the story. It is really interesting trying to find all the secrets in the game. So I would say the story would be about 10 out of 10. Finally, my overall thoughts. This game is cool. 8.5 out of 10.